starting with the muscle tissues. Now, what do we know about muscle tissues? First of all, muscles or the muscle tissues of our body, they are long, narrow muscle cells. This is their one characteristic. They are elongated. Therefore, they are known as muscle fibers. Now, once they are packed, they form fibers and they contain one or more nuclei. They are typically arranged in a parallel manner. If they are non-striated or unstriated, they will be like this. And if they are striated, then they will be more or less like this in this muscle fiber. Where do we see these are the packed units, and out of these there are few more parallel packed units. So they are parallel and contract in a definite direction. ऐसा नहीं होता ये ऐसे contract हो जाएगा या ये ऐसे contract हो जाएगा. No, they contract in a definite direction, which causes the movement of body parts and limbs and locomotion of our organ or basic body structures. This all contraction and relaxation, which is caused by their movement, the muscle movement, is because of the contractile proteins which are present in them. Alright, so there are contractile proteins which will help in the movement. See, we are closing the hand, opening the hand. अब ये जो movement है, this is according to our own wish, my will. When I am moving, I am closing my, see, fist बन रहा मेरा, उसके बाद I am opening it. This all is my movement. I am writing, I am not writing, that is my will. Then accordingly we categorize them into voluntary. But there are certain muscle fibers which do not work according to your will. To them we say involuntary. And third, which are mainly present in the heart region, which function and act. That rhythmic contraction and relaxation is basically according to the heart needs. These are cardiac. And we specifically divide them into striated, unstriated or non-striated and cardiac muscle fibers. Right? These are the three types of muscle fibers on the basis of their location and their functions in the body. Fine. This much we know, that they are long, narrow muscle cells, they are elongated, they are parallel, and they have contractile proteins which will help in the structure and functioning movement, like the movement of the body limbs, movement of heart, flow of blood, lymph, everything, flow of air also through the respiratory tract. All is controlled by the movement of all these contractile proteins. And when we talk about their types, we say these are of three types. The first one is striated, as I just mentioned, striated, which are also known as skeletal or voluntary, which work with our own will. Number two is unstriated. We call them smooth muscles also, and we call them involuntary muscles also. And the third category, the third type is cardiac muscles. Taking up the first type, striated. As we have just discussed that they all arranged in a parallel array. This is the section of a striated muscle that I am taking for consideration. Here are present small muscle fibers, and I am taking out one of this. And over there are present small muscle fibers that we can see, and I am taking out this one. This is how these are packed. Fine. This is the finest one, and this is how these are packed in levels. We say striated muscles, they mainly make up 80% of the mass of soft tissues. in a vertebrate body. Then they are attached to bones. How? With the help of tendons. Tendons. And what do they bring? Body movement. That's why we call them skeletal muscles or the striated muscles. Since their role is all the more specific that they are concerned, they are attached to the bones. Clear? These, although they show contraction and relaxation, that is all due to the contractile protein which is present. When we show contraction and relaxation of our body movements, which is under our control, we call these muscles as voluntary muscles. And these fibers, they show dark and light bands, or we say stripes, alternatively. Alright. Also called striated muscles. Now, why these are known as striated? Because they have light and dark band stripes. They show contraction and relaxation according to our will, so we call them voluntary muscles. Since they are attached to the bones with the help of tendons and they help in body movement, we call them skeletal muscles. Now, if this much is clear, what do they consist of? What is their structure? We say that these basically consists of long, narrow, cylindrical, unbranched fibers with blunt ends. Each fiber, it is enclosed by a distinct plasma membrane which is known as sarcolemma. Sarcolemma is the special type of plasma membrane which is covering every muscle fiber. Now, the cells, they consist of many elongated these flattened nuclei located towards the periphery near the sarcolemma. This is how their nuclei are present. Where do they occur? Occurrence. They are mainly found in the body wall and limbs. Limbs we know, obviously, in biceps and triceps. Biceps and triceps, which is commonly the area. Function. What do they help in? Body movement. Helps in locomotion. What kind of body movement? Voluntary. Because we have discussed that these are voluntary muscles. Clear? Moving to the next one. The second type, we say unstriated muscles. When we draw this structure, we say these are more or less like this. Spindle shaped. Fine. And how are these arranged? Like this. All of them, they have a parallel arrangement. Clear? Where do they show, where do they mainly occur? They are narrow spindle shaped ones. They occur in any area which is like the visceral organs, in the alimentary canal, in the genital tract, in blood vessels, in urinary bladder, where we basically know that the functioning of the body is not under our control. Like whenever you are eating food, you are not directing your stomach to digest food. It is done automatically with the help of these muscles. You are not directing your food to move from esophagus into the stomach region, into the intestine region, into the large intestine and gets collected in one region of your body, that is the rectum. No. So all this is directed by these unstriated muscles which occur with their own will. Blinking of your eyes is another example of this unstriated muscles. So these are long, narrow, spindle shaped with pointed ends. And each one has a nucleus, as you can see. Has one nucleus which is situated in the center. These are shorter than the striated muscle fibers that we can make out. Right? These are shorter in their appearance, in their size also. Their occurrence. Now, as per the occurrence, we say walls of hollow visceral organs, except heart. We are not taking heart here because heart has its own cardiac muscles. Walls of alimentary canal. Now you know what is alimentary canal, the digestive tract. Genital tract, blood vessels, urinary bladder, etc. Right? Now coming to the functions. When we talk about the functions, first of all, why do we call them involuntary? Because these do not work according to our will. They have their own way, their own mechanism to work. Number 2, their contraction as well as relaxation are rhythmic. What does it mean? There is a progressive way of muscle contraction and relaxation. It occurs on its own. Like when the food is passing through the esophagus lining, the contraction and relaxation of the esophagus lining is controlled by these muscles. Right, the food is being swallowed from here to here, it is being moved. Occurs in the iris and the ciliary body. Over there also it does the same. Muscular contraction and relaxation occur in the gastrointestinal tract, in the male genital tract from where the sperms have to pass. So these contractions, these relaxations are rhythmic. Then, third one, they are basically, when they contract and they relax, they show that organs become short and thick when these undergo contraction, long and thin when the organs relax. Alright, so what do? They make our organs appear short and thick when they are undergoing contraction, and long and thin when they undergo relaxation. Clear? Moving to the next type, the third type, which is the cardiac muscle. As the name suggests, where are these present? In the heart region. What they appear as, their characteristic points: short, cylindrical, branched, joined end to end. Each one, it contains 1 to 2 or more than 2 nuclei. And where are these nuclei situated? In the center region. And they show faint cross striations. Means their bands are not visible as in case of striated muscles, but they do show faint cross striations. This is an example of involuntary muscles, but they show voluntary area also because of certain striations. But cardiac comes under involuntary because they do not ask us when to make the heart beat. If we are going to think about it, by the time the heart will collapse, the body will collapse. So cardiac muscles, where are they located? Their location is basically these are confined to the walls of heart. Pulmonary vein and superior vena cava. What are all these? Superior vena cava, the vein which brings blood from the body to the heart, and pulmonary vein which takes blood from the heart to the lungs for purification. So what do they do? What is their function? These contract and relax rapidly and continuously. How? In a rhythmic manner. They follow a rhythm, but never ever got fatigued. Right? What is contraction and relaxation, which is rapidly and continuously being done? What is it helpful in? In pumping the blood. So, this contraction and relaxation of cardiac muscles helps in pumping of blood out of the heart and into the heart. So, from body to heart and heart to body in a vice versa manner. Clear? So, these are mainly located in the cardiac region. Fine. How do they appear in structure? Basically, these are somewhat like this. They show striations here and there, which are not much but faint striations. We can assure that these are highly present everywhere. These striations are localized. Fine. These are the branched fibers that I have shown. This area, it shows sarcoplasm. Then this is the nucleus, right? And this covering is known as sarcolemma. Fine. This is mainly more or less the structure of this cardiac muscle, what it appears like. Sarcoplasm, obviously like cytoplasm. Plasma membrane, like sarcolemma that we have discussed. What is sarcolemma? It seems like the plasma membrane and it covers the protective lining of the muscle fibers. So the material present inside is sarcoplasm. This is about all three types of muscles. Thank you.